School? Wonderful. Okay, so I like to just get an idea of who's here so we can kind of direct our presentation toward you and towards the tools that can help you in your classrooms. So like I mentioned, my name is Brittany Palmer. I'm here with Becky Vanderlinden. She is our capstone director over our JA City facilities, as well as Emily Watkins, our director of in-class programs for middle and high schools. So raise your hand if you have heard of junior achievement or had JA in your classroom or experienced it as a student. Is anybody here familiar with junior achievement? Hey, that's great, because I could talk all day long about JA. So I'll give you a really short overview of what Junior Achievement is. We're a nonprofit organization. We're actually a worldwide organization. We are based here in Utah with JA of Utah and Idaho. And we're a nonprofit that our main goal really is to inspire children and youth and help them succeed in a global economy. So we want them to have the skills and the knowledge and the experiences that they need to be successful in life, both in a career, in their finances, and if they choose to own a business, to kind of set them up as entrepreneurs and to help them understand what entrepreneurship is. So we do this in kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, and we're actually developing programs now for 18 to 25-year-olds to help them in those years beyond high school. Our presentation today is going to be focused mainly on our high school programs and how we can provide those to you to give you those resources in your classroom to meet financial readiness and financial literacy requirements for your students. So we know that you can't do everything on your own. As teachers, there are so many things on your plate, and we feel that it's the responsibility of both our organization, Junior Achievement, and as the community to provide you with resources, with time, with volunteers, and other things to kind of help lift that burden of giving your students the financial literacy knowledge that they need going out into the real world. We know that you have so many different things that you have to take care of, and so we want to be a lift to you by providing the programs that you can implement on your own as educators, and also other volunteer-led and in-person experiences that your students can have. So we talk about experiential learning, and I know a lot of educators have seen this quote before, but we really believe at JA that children and youth learn by doing. So we know that we can talk and talk and talk at our students all of the time, and sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. But if you teach them something and then give them a way to apply that in a real world scenario and have practical applications of that knowledge, it's going to be a lot more concrete and cemented for those students. So we provide a lot of different types of experiences, whether those are virtual, where they're going through virtual simulations, or coming on site, or working with a volunteer in the classroom and having to kind of think and brainstorm on their own, so that that becomes something that is real and tangible to them and that they can apply. I know my kids, I've got 6 kids from 6 to 16, and they're always like, why do I have to learn this in school? What is the point of learning it? And we know that the point of learning isn't always the actual data that they're receiving, but it's the process of preparing their brain to understand and to problem solve and to work through those things. But we also like to say, well, when you're learning about financial literacy, it's not just a math concept of percents. It's creating a budget, or going shopping, or you're out to dinner and some things you have to calculate a tip and you don't always have your cell phone or Siri at the ready. So we want to give them these tools so they know they're actually going to be applying it in real life and it's going to matter. So we have a quick video here that illustrates this point with some of the students that we work with.
Please welcome tonight's presentation of What I Want to Do
When I Grow Up.
When I grow up.
I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck.
I don't want to cry when paying the bills.
When I grow up.
I don't want to be turned down for a business loan.
I don't want to borrow a lot for an education.
And then not know what to do with it.
When I grow up, I don't want to be paid less, told I'm underqualified or overqualified.
When I grow up.
When I grow up,
I want to know how to save for my future, find a job I like, and start my own business. When I grow up, I want to know how to provide for my family,
And invest in my community. And make a difference.
When I grow up, when I grow up,
When I grow up.
when I grow up, I just want things to be different.
At Junior Achievement, we promote economic empowerment through education, but we can't do it alone.
All right, so a lot of our programs can be teacher-led or even self-guided for students, but one of the magical parts of Junior Achievement that makes it different is that a lot of our volunteers come into the classroom or are at our facilities to help with those experiences. So I just wanted to highlight one such experience. This is a volunteer from Optum Bank. She sits on our board, and her name's Kim Haney. She volunteers all the time in the classroom and at JA City, if you've ever heard of JA City. And she interacts with kids all of the time. One experience that she had this year is that they had a group of students there doing a JA Finance Park field trip. And the student that was there, it was his first week of school, and they were doing a field trip at JA City. So it was very outside his comfort zone. Not only that, but he was an English as a second language student as a refugee from Uganda. So he experienced a big language barrier in even trying to understand and grasp what was going on. So Kim, as the hero that she is, connected with this student, found another student that spoke his language, and then just stuck with those two kids the whole day. And it went from being an experience where he was feeling really anxious and confused and overwhelmed to something that he was actually able to learn from the lessons that they were doing and the experience that Becky will go over of Finance Park, and kind of helped ease his anxieties throughout the day. So this is just an illustration of why we feel like volunteers are so important, and why providing those experiential learning opportunities for children, whether it's their first day at a school in America or they've been here since kindergarten, can be so impactful. So we wanted to just go over a couple of different JA programs that we feel can really benefit high school teachers that are teaching financial literacy. We try to make our programs as turnkey as possible. We don't want you to have to jump through a bunch of hoops. We have curriculum that's ready. We have lessons that are outlined. They include videos. They include speakers. They include worksheets for the students. Two of those programs are JA Finance Park and JA Personal Finance that can be implemented in high school. So I'm going to turn the time over to Becky to talk about JA Finance Park.
Thank you. All right, well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to get to share with you a little bit of information about one of my favorite JA programs called JA Finance Park. So Finance Park, for high school students, we recommend using our advanced platform. And basically, students are going to be immersed in their own financial futures. We're going to walk them through making career decisions, budgeting for themselves and possibly their families if their household, if their simulated kind of scenario involves a spouse and children. They're going to be asked to buy things for their current needs, but also their future needs as well. They're going to be planning for investments and purchasing insurance. What these students realize is that adulting can come as quite a surprise and a bit of a shock with these kids if they've not had that experiential opportunity to really have some hands-on experience budgeting and learning some of these financial skills. So JA's Finance Park is here to really give them the confidence that they need to take on their own financial futures. So we know with financial literacy that it's the ability to understand and effectively use various financial tools. So you guys as teachers are doing an incredible job of providing all of the information that these students need. And what Finance Park can offer is that experiential piece where it takes them from learning to doing and getting the experience on their own. So concepts that we know you're already teaching these kids, things like earning, saving and investing, protecting their money, how to spend their money and how to borrow money. We're going to be covering all of these concepts in Finance Park. So our program is comprised of 8 units, essentially, that are teacher-led in your classroom. Like Brittany mentioned, we have all of the curriculum in a turnkey fashion so that it's there ready for you. And we're going to walk students through things like employment and income. We're going to teach them about how their career supplies their primary mode of income. And so let's learn about different careers and career clusters, what those jobs look like and what do they pay in the future. We're going to talk to them about the difference between gross versus net. That's a big surprise for a lot of people. And we're going to teach them about what their tax taxes and withholdings are going for. We move into employment and education by talking about different time commitments. What's required to pursue that degree or that trade? What are the costs and benefits to possibly a post-secondary education, trade school, or military? They're going to identify income projections and calculate return on investments. We move them into financial responsibility, where they'll learn about how to make those decisions, right? They get the opportunity to make choices with their money, learning what their responsibilities are and how that plays out over their futures. So we talk about planning for their money management by talking about needs and wants and expressing the order in which we might attack how we're going to spend the money that we receive. During risk management and insurance, they're going to learn about the different investment options that they could participate in, some being short-term, some being long-term, and helping them understand why and how those make the best sense for them. Different types of investment portfolios. The simulation is something I'm going to show you a little video about, but this whole experience culminates in a simulation where they get provided a life scenario. They find out if they're married, single, do they have kids, did they go to college, how much money did they make, what's their credit score, and then they're going to be tasked with learning about the different categories on that budget and making a 1-month working budget for their simulated families. So Finance Park, as with all of our junior achievement programmings, we really do believe in that experiential piece. And so I can talk at you about what we're doing, but I'm going to actually show you a video to give you a little bit better insight into what it really looks like. This was a video put on by one of our partners with JA of Southern Nevada, but I think it's a great explanation on what Finance Park looks like for our students.
As a teen, I have a lot on my mind. But what's going through my head isn't how I'm going to pay this month's water bill.
Make the house payment, budget for my groceries and childcare.
Or how much I should put away for retirement.
That's why Junior Achievement created Finance Park.
To teach important money and credit management skills. By giving students like me a taste of life in the real world. The one that's full of jobs, insurance, bills,
mortgages, and tough decisions on how to spend money.
As a teen, I have a lot on my mind. But what's going through my head isn't how I'm going to pay this month's water bill.
Make the house payment, budget for my groceries and childcare.
Or how much I should put away for retirement.
That's why Junior Achievement created
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We showed this video in a previous presentation and it worked. So we know the video works, but with lots of cords, sometimes that doesn't always happen. If we need to, we can come back to it, but I want to make sure it works for the rest of them too, yeah. Do you want to, while I'm working on this, do you want to just let them know about student fees when it comes to JEC?
balanced at the end of the program.
I am 30 years old. I am single.
With our JA City programs, when you're looking to bring your group of students on site for this type of experience, we work really hard to get sponsorships through our community and our businesses to help fund the curriculum and the experience. We charge a small $5 per student fee to come and do our field trip on site, and then of course taking care of the transportation costs, busing from school. So we offer a couple of different ways that you can implement this program, and I'll just move on and kind of talk about that while they're working on this video. Our program can be taught right in the classroom with your students, and then this Finance Park experience is a simulation that you'll take your students through right in the classroom. So, oh, it's not even showing what's on here. I was going to show that slide. Is that weird?
I think it's completely disconnected, or it's not showing that either.
Okay. Well, I was going to show you a really cool slide of what our program looks like online. So when you decide you want to teach a program like Finance Park Advanced, you're going to get a kit with all of the curriculum logins for your students. And when they log in, they're going to have a guided, self-guided program where you'll go through, you can provide worksheets, discussion points, but it's going to flow right through on PowerPoints. It'll keep track of their work and how far through the program they've progressed. And then when it gets time to do the simulation, this is where you can get all the students together. You can do it class by class.
That's why Junior Achievement created Finance Park.
Yeah, it's still not going to work, I don't think. Go ahead. This is why we teach adaptation to kids.
Yes.
And being resilient and problem solving, right? Yeah, I think we're out right now.
Okay. I was going to see if I had the sheets from the... All right, so I was going to share with you a couple of slides of some of the options that our students get to learn as they're progressing through this curriculum. So when we talked about career clusters, they're going to have an option to go and actually explore the different career clusters. And they can look at individual jobs inside those career clusters as well. So they can say, what is the median pay for this particular job? Is that something that is going to meet my needs and wants of my family in the future? When we walk them through investing, we're going to take them through scenarios where they're going to learn, is it better for me to invest a certain number of dollars every month for the next 5 years and stop, or if I start in 5 years or 10 years and go until retirement? So we're going to teach them the long-term effects of the decisions that they're making. So following their careers through multiple life stages, they're going to see what it is to start in a job and actually move through that as a career path. They'll move through multiple job careers. They'll also move through those different life stages. So they get to see their lifetime of decisions. So it's not just how did this decision that you made today affect your future today, but they're going to see how this decision reflects in their retirement years or end of working years. So they get to see a long-term lifetime of all of their financial and career decisions. And then the effects of overspending. So they get to see those things in real time in our platform rather than just a snapshot of one day in the life of that adult.
Yeah, I'm going to try this again. If not, we might just skip over videos. But
As a teen, I have a lot on my mind. But what's going through my head isn't how I'm going to pay
I'll show you some of those screenshots now. So this is what the platform looks like when they log in online. So it's very simple for the student to work themselves through each of the different themes with the teacher, and then some of the slides here. So this is what I was talking about when we're working through career clusters. So you can click in, we've looked at a nurse practitioner on this particular example, what that median pay is and what the education requirements would be for those jobs. Then again, when we're talking about investing, here's an example, working all summer, saving $500. The student thinks they want to invest the money to start earning. They're going to add $25 a month. And how much are they going to have when they reach retirement age? So it'll walk them through their teenage years, their young adult years, the working years, and nearing retirement years. So that again, they can see the effects of how they're spending, how it turns out for them over the course of their life. So here at Junior Achievement, we love to help show these students what's possible for them. We know that when they get an opportunity to not just learn these concepts, but actually are forced to make a budget for their simulated family, you're going to see really incredible moments where these kids are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that's how much things cost. Or that's what my mom means when she says there's no money in the budget for that. Even we've had kids that come through and we teach them about vacations as a category on their budget. And we have a lot of students that go, what's a vacation? They've never been on one. They don't even know about how to plan or prepare for some of those kinds of things in their lives. So if you have any questions, we'll have time at the end, but I'm going to pass this over to my coworker, Emily, and she's going to speak a little bit more on JA personal finance.
Yeah, don't trip. Excellent. Thank you, Becky. Nope, that's great. Okay, JA Personal Finance is our most requested in-class program for financial literacy. Again, very turnkey. This program consists of 5 PowerPoint-style lessons. There are some additional optional lessons as well as extension options. And this is a great program to introduce your students at the beginning of the school year to things like earning, employment, income, budgeting, saving, smart spending. So it covers a lot of different topics. Now, those of you that are familiar with junior achievement programs in our elementaries, often our volunteers are a parent from the school. The PTA lines up the volunteers. We are a little more involved in that process for our high schools. So we really try to pair you with a volunteer, if you would like a volunteer in your classroom, who is from that industry, that is an expert, that connects the classroom to the real world, that can answer student questions. And so that is where the real magic happens for our high school students. To achieve financial health and wellness, students need to learn these concepts about money management strategies, earning. We touch on employment and income, budgeting, saving, credit, good and bad credit, good and bad debt, consumer protection, risk management, and investing. So they're introduced to a lot of different topics. And then if they want to deep dive into some of those areas, there are those extension activities that they could do. They could be done as a group or they could be more self-guided, depending on the student's interests and also the amount of time that you have to dedicate to the curriculum. Whoops, what am I touching wrong? Okay, we're going to go that way. Excellent. Correlations. Really important. We know that you have the state standards that you are following and you are weaving into your curriculums. And so we actually, I'll just hold up the paper and we'll have a slide at the end. All of the correlations for state requirements are outlined for you. So it's very detailed, even down to the session. So if you're debating, which sessions really align with what I am teaching and fulfill those state requirements, use this correlation sheet. And it will help you to pinpoint and really plan what's best for your class. All right, I don't know if I even dare start a video. We've got sound. Okay, excellent. So most of you are new to junior achievement programs. We've been around a long time. We really feel that we have the scope and the experience to provide meaningful curriculums for our students that will help them as they own their own economic success throughout their life. So let's watch a brief video, and it will actually also share our alumni survey report. These numbers are powerful. We have a third party that conducts this research for us, and as we track alumni, we just are so confident in the curriculums and the aids that we are giving to the classroom that they are really benefiting the students. Okay, fingers crossed.
Junior Achievement is one of the nation's leading educational partners. Each year, JA works with more than 14,000 schools to deliver lessons in financial literacy, work, and career readiness, and entrepreneurship to more than 3.3 million K-12 students. JA does this in collaboration with school districts, individual schools, and educators. These learning experiences are delivered by volunteers from the community with the support of businesses, foundations, and partner organizations. Junior Achievement began in 1919 as an after-school program and started working in schools in the mid-1970s. JA's programs align with state and national education standards. Each year, JA's curriculum team correlates JA's programs with each state's set of standards. JA learning experiences are developed along financial literacy, work and career readiness, and entrepreneurship pathways, with age-appropriate lessons building on each other year over year. In addition, JA prepares volunteers for the classroom experience through an orientation process prior to engaging with students. The benefits of JA for educators are access to enriched learning experiences that help reinforce the connection between what students learn in school and life outside the classroom. JA also works to make these learning experiences as turnkey as possible for educators and schools. The benefits of JA's learning experiences are highlighted by studies conducted by research firm Ipsos. According to this research, JA alumni report that they are more likely to complete high school and obtain a college degree and even an advanced degree. On the financial literacy front, 90% of JA alumni say they are confident managing money. They also report purchasing their first home, saving for retirement, and paying off student loan debt earlier than the general population. They report higher levels of career satisfaction, and a higher percentage of JA alumni who graduated college work in their field of study than the general population. JA alumni, especially Black, Latino, Hispanic, and female alumni, are more likely to report starting or owning a business. Junior Achievement is in your community and ready to work with you. To find out more, connect with us through our website.
Okay, so just to give you a feel, we're going to play it twice. In the state of Utah, we connect every year with over 100,000 students. So we are really embedded in our school system and have great curriculums available to help be a lift in the classroom and to just reinforce some of these concepts that you're already teaching. We want to ensure students have a solid foundation and personal finance concepts such as creating and managing a budget, tracking expenses, understanding cash flow, and effective money management just sets our students up for success. So we want to change that I can't attitude into an I can and make sure that they are very familiar with these concepts. We know the pressure that you have to reach the state correlations and make sure you are covering all of those standards. So this folder that I have, this is all of the state correlations for our different programs. Becky and I have talked about just two. We have a lot of different options available. So it's always helpful if you're trying to really discuss a certain topic in your class, connect with us. We can help you to pinpoint and make sure we are giving you the best curriculum to cover those topics, that we have covered all of the correlations that you are looking for the state standards. But just know this is just a sample of what curriculums we have available. Okay, Brittany, I will turn it over to you.
Yeah, I think we got it. I had Becky mention the student fee for JA City only because teachers are always asking us, how much do your programs cost? Because we're a nonprofit and we work with so many really incredible corporate donors and sponsors, we're able to offer all of our in-class programs cost-free to educators. So the only fees that we ever have for students are if you're doing an in-person field trip to a facility. And that just helps us kind of dips into the cost of actually running a facility. So if you have students that are participating in JA Finance Park, we provide all of the curriculum to you, you run all of the lessons, and then if there's that in-person field trip to do the simulation, there's that small cost. Everything else though, you can just let us know, like Emily mentioned. I'm teaching my students about the car buying process. We have a one-session program called JA All About Cars, and it teaches students the difference between purchasing and leasing a car and some of the advantages and disadvantages to both. We have questions or programs that are less maybe about specific financial literacy, but more career readiness. So we have programs like JA Excellence in Ethics, and it teaches students about ethics in the workplace and ethics in business and even in their online communication and why that's so important. We wanted to highlight these two programs because they're very deep into financial literacy, and this is a Jumpstart Financial Literacy Conference. But we have dozens and dozens of programs that cover career readiness, as well as entrepreneurship and how students can learn about that. So I wanted to open up the time if you have any questions, and also to give us feedback or let us know what's going on in your schools. We love connecting with educators. We want to know how we can be a support to you and what you're looking for in the classroom so that we can better equip you with the tools that we have. Sometimes it's just making sure that you know what we have so that we can give that to you and provide it to you. So any questions or feedback on what you are experiencing in the classroom and how we can help with that? Okay. I kind of want to jump back real quick. We have time, but I want to show you really quickly the Finance Park video. I know this is going to be a little out of order, but I feel like this gives you a very good understanding of what Finance Park looks like if you were to provide that in-person field trip to your students. I know in high school, it's kind of hit and miss if you can provide field trips or like off-site experiences. So we do offer the simulation in the classroom if you wanted to just run that with your students there. But I'm gonna start this one more time and we're gonna cross our fingers to make sure that it works. Nope.
But what's going through my head isn't how I'm going to pay this month's water bill.
Make the house payment, budget for my groceries and childcare.
Or how much I should put away for retirement.
That's why Junior Achievement created Finance Park.
To teach important money and credit management skills. By giving students like me a taste of life in the real world. The one that's full of jobs, insurance, bills,
mortgages, and tough decisions on how to spend money.
In Finance Park, we get to experience real-world financial situations in a virtual community setting.
And we see how the decisions we make on money can have a big impact on our lives.
How does Finance Park work? We're each given a unique life situation, an age, income, marital status, kids, and a job. And we have to learn how to spend our money on necessities like bills, groceries, and some fun extras.
All while making sure our accounts are balanced at the end of the program.
I am 30 years old. I am single. I have one child. My gross annual income is $36,250. I'm a manufacturer's representative.
My name's Haley and I'm a curriculum developer.
To be comfortable, I would need at least $70,000 because $36,000 is not even enough.
With the help of Finance Park's volunteer mentors, we learn about incomes, budgeting, saving, investing, how to balance a checkbook, how to use credit,
and why exactly we have insurance.
But the most important thing, we see how far our dollars can actually go.
I think after doing Junior Achievement Finance Park, they get to learn, if nothing else, maybe a little bit more respect for their parents and what they have to deal with. And the fact that it's not easy when you grow up, there is a lot of responsibility that comes with all of that freedom. And most of it's financial.
I think the hands-on experience is very unique to what we do here. We do a lot of other in-classroom programming, but this particular one is very hands-on and interactive with a little bit older age group of kids, and I think the message resonates.
So the beautiful thing about Finance Park is it makes people think about all aspects, not just what's in front of them. I think too much today in society, kids and all of us are just what's in the moment without thinking bigger and thinking longer. I think you see the light go off in the kids because they're like, oh, I didn't think about that, or just all the different components. And even as adults, that cumulative impact of all the decisions in life and the financial impact, not just the one thing in front of them.
Learning these money management skills sooner rather than later
could be the difference between those of us who thrive as adults
and become productive citizens that can contribute to our community,
and others who struggle to keep their heads above water.
It's a treat, to learn to prepare and to be appreciative of your parents because it's kind of stressful.
It's actually really, really fun. I came in here thinking this would be a boring old class with lectures. It was just really professional.
Finance Park inspires students to be smart with their money, how to get ready for the workforce,
and most importantly, how to aspire to greater things.
Junior Achievement wants to bring these much-needed financial lessons to as many students as possible here in Las Vegas.
And to do that, we need your help to make Finance Park available all year long.
To serve the thousands of students here in the Valley that need these skills.
Students just like me.
Students just like me.
Students just like me.
Finance Park from Junior Achievement.
Thanks for sticking around for that. It illustrates it so much better than we can let you know. So I was actually teaching in my son's classroom this year, and we did a lesson on budgets. And it was so funny because the kids had to go around the room and make different decisions based on the budget categories and what their given income was. And in their particular scenario, they were all young adults that had a much lower income and didn't have all of the expenses that adults in a home would have. So it was like, you live with a roommate, or you can do rideshare, or different things like that. And one of the girls came up to me and said, I had to pay $1,800 this month for bills. And I said, yep, and you have to pay that every month. And she was just shocked, like, every single month? This is not a one-time thing. And we were talking about utilities and how you have to pay for water and sewer and just all of these different things that I think our young people are kind of unaware of. And a girl raised her hand and said, so it sounds like what you're saying is that it just costs to live. And I said, yes, like, that's exactly what it is. So we want to help your students get this information and get this message in an impactful, fun, valuable, and long-lasting way. This is our information. Please feel free to reach out. Our programs, we do register our programs, so they're not all just available online. You contact us, and then we either send you the materials if they're printed materials or provide you with the digital content. And that is because we have donors who fund all of our programs, and then we report back to them. This is how many students in the state did our programs this year. This last year, wrapping up the 23-24 school year, we had over 100,000 students in Utah participate. But we want that to be more because we know that's just a drop in the bucket. We have so many students in Utah, and that's K through 12. So again, we have time for any questions. If not, we can wrap that up too. Yes. Yes. So
I'll put our QR code back up. And I do have
right there.
printed copies if you'd like to take one. And that specifically is for the personal finance, but we do have it for all of our programs.
So if you go to this QR code, it takes you to the correlations. There's sections for high school, middle school, elementary, and then our capstone programs are JA Finance Park, which is what Becky talked about, as well as JA BizTown. It's a 5th grade program. You might have heard of 5th graders that go to BizTown and they get to be grown-ups for the day. That's also a really wonderful program that we offer to students. But you can go there and scroll through, and it breaks it down session by session, and then what those standards correlate to. Perfect. Excellent. Anything else? All right. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. And good luck next school year. All right. Thanks.